So I felt guided and inclined to actually speak on something. When I speak about my own personal life, like when it comes to like my mother or the way that I was raised or brought up, right? I don't come from a hurt place when speaking on this, because quite literally that is something that I had to go and heal first, right? To see it from a higher perspective, to be able to hold forgiveness and compassion, right? So when I speak, I don't speak from a place where it's unhealed or, of course, there's always going to be, constant healing, all right? But from a place of resentment, okay? Like, I'm grateful for everything that I've encountered and experienced in my life thus far because of the fact that it has made me who I am. I know that sounds so freaking cliche. Trust me, cliches kind of get on my nerves. So if it gets on your nerves too, trust me, I feel you. But I don't know, it's just like where some can hold resentment and grudges, I cannot. Like, the Most High moved me away from my family to see something in a different light, to look at it from a higher perspective, but to also protect me, protect my energy, protect my heart, okay? So I don't hold resentment when I speak about my past, my upbringing, anybody in my family. Like, I don't speak from a place where I'm holding on to it into where it's hurting me, right? Or damaging my perspective nor perception on things, people, and places, okay? This is why it's important to do the healing work, okay? So that you can hold that kind of space, right? But regardless of anything that I've experienced in my life and the tragedies, okay, the pain and the traumas that I've accrued, okay, I still don't hold any hate in my heart. I never did. But I allowed things to continue. That was my problem. I didn't protect myself. That was the problem. But I don't hold any hate or resentment in my heart for these individuals. Situations that I encountered with, individuals. And it's mainly pertaining to family, okay, as I'm talking about my past. There are others that have traumatized me in my past, or that, I had bad trauma from in the past, but a lot of the individuals were my family. It had to do with my family. But once the Most High moved me away from them, I was able to go through the process of just accepting what is and what was, right? And then creating what is to come. Or, So, but I realize, in that process, it's very interesting the way that process went too, with just moving away from them and then allowing myself to feel everything, being clear-minded well enough to feel everything that ever took place or that happened or that has scarred me in any way, shape, or form, right? To, looking at it from their side of things, to then better, coming from understanding to understanding, just human behavior, just how humans are, period, right? To forgiving and holding compassion for these individuals, regardless of what I experienced. Not to brush it off, what I experienced, not to act like nothing happened, or, what it wasn't what it was, okay? I'm not delusional, and I had to make sure, that I just accepted it, forgave, released it, all right? And then know what to do now, moving forward, okay? But I do see a lot of individuals that hold such resentment and hate. I've never been able to hate anybody in my life, even the ones that hurt me the most. Like, I've just never been able to, and I know that's very fortunate for me, and I'm blessed, but I also didn't ask to be this way. You know, it is very different. But I do see a lot of hate in people's hearts and resentment. And it's like, it's so burdensome. It looks burdensome. But I held resentment before, though. Never hate, but resentment, yes. Most definitely. But I had to release that because it was doing more harm than good. You know? Who wants a constant reminder? Really broke them. No one does, right? But it's like the way our minds are programmed. We allow ourselves to relive the traumas, relive the things that broke us or, you know, help to mold us. You know, I personally, I'm good. With a good old T at the end of that. I'm good. I don't care to hold on to that like that. So while it was easy for me to be forgiving, it was easy for me to accept whatever it was, healing from that is endless, okay? It's knowing how to transmute the energy and allow it to work for you versus it against you. And when we're constantly reminding ourselves of what somebody did to us or how somebody treated us, we're reliving the experience. We're reliving the emotions that come with that. And it doesn't serve us. It's just common sense to think about. Now, when we're not throwing our feelings and the way that it has impacted us off to the side or the back burner or ignoring it. No, that's what you need to do, is pay attention to it. Feeling that shit out. But being able to, once you come to that point, like, all right, and you'll know, I felt this out enough. I'm ready to release it. That's why healing looks different for everybody. And the time frames, different for everybody. Because it's when your soul is ready to release it, is when you can. And then you don't hold hate. You don't hold resentment. You're able to just look at an individual as another individual. They are who they are, and you just focus on who you are, because that's what's important. Focusing on yourself, minding your own business. Growing and evolving and making sure that you don't encounter the same experiences with other individuals, or that you become that experience for your own children. You feel me? I don't have that to do, y'all. This is why I'm cool. I chose the healing journey. Because I don't have that to do. I refuse to continuously relive something that I can quite literally handle and get out of my way. Get it out of my way. It's another reason why I condone healing. Why I do what I do. But, yeah, that just came to mind, like, something just came up, and I'm just like, you know, I really don't hold any, I don't hate. I'm not bitter. I'm not resentful. I just know better now. And I know what I deserve.